I just read a really interesting story for those of you who are family, friends, followers, and guests. Dealt with Oregon OSHA. And Oregon OSHA apparently came in and fined somebody $90,000 for a series of violations. I used to prosecute for OSHA. In fact, back in the day, I designed the format that they use for their administrative cases and how the questioning and process that they go through. I want you to know I would love to represent that company. I wish I was still in practice. Maybe they would pay me part of that $90,000 fine for some consulting. OSHA has a number of things it has to do. And what it did is it got the headlines for doing what it couldn't do and wasn't supposed to do. There's a process to go through for the purposes of inspections. There's a process they have to go through for rulemaking under the OSHA umbrella. And part of that process involves public comment, and there's just a world of things that OSHA is bound by. Most people don't know it. They think of OSHA as some kind of all-encompassing agency. I remember when I was a young man and early 20s, and OSHA repeatedly fined our business we put rain gutters on homes for using three-legged ladders. And I remember going to the OSHA hearing, having all of those combined, and my dad, hard talking though he was, he called them sons of bitches and assholes and cocksuckers, and he went on in that hearing, and the state objected to it, but the hearings officer said, hey, you brought him in here, he gets to make his defense. He cautioned Dad a few times, but anyway, to make a long story short, we beat OSHA then, and in prosecuting for OSHA, I was beat a couple of times pretty bad, one of them by a guy without counsel. He taught me how to do a cross-examination. I didn't learn that in law school, my word. But OSHA, Oregon OSHA, is an out-of-control agency. It always has been. And there are ways to deal with them, and there's a bunch of rules that they have to follow. The problem is most attorneys don't practice in that arena. They're not good at it. They don't know it. They don't understand it. OSHA isn't either. You get some guy off the street and teach him a little bit and say, now you're an inspector. Man, I loved to get those guys on the stand when I was in private practice. Anyway, Oregon government run amok, your queer governor doing her queer thing. Playing with herself and all her friends, I guess, whatever the name of the game is for her. But as long as you're willing to wear the yoke, the mantle of slavery to your government that's out of control, exercising tyranny, then you are what you are, and that is you are slaves. Put up with it. Don't whine. Don't piss, don't moan, don't complain. It's your station in life. It's what those of you in Oregon want. And we know that because we watched how you voted. I'm so glad to be out of there. Other than missing family and friends. And there is a certain beauty, excuse me, there is a certain beauty to the I-5 corridor and the coastline. There's also more of that same beauty in Eastern Oregon, in a different way. Oregon is a beautiful place. I'm hoping we're successful in being able to grab a large part of it and bring it into Idaho. That will be fun if we can make that happen. And I think people in Oregon probably want that to happen. The I-5 corridor wants it to happen because they have the perception that they're having to cough up all the money to support Eastern Oregon and Southern Oregon. And they think that they would be better off if they could keep that money for their rioters and looters They're terrorists, Antifa, BLM, and all that. So much for this little ramble and rant. We are at a wonderful time to watch our government at work and to make some real decisions about what we think we may really want. So it'll be fun to watch you guys and see if you can get your heads out of your butt if you're going to keep living under the same oppression. And one piece at a time. As I said in another video just a while ago, going to a gun show next weekend. Everything works right, I'll get a governor. And if not, I'll get one sooner or later. You guys all take care. I hope this holiday season you can find peace in your heart. You can have joy in your countenance. And your loved ones can all be safe. Make it so.